So I'm back. So I'm here again, and yeah, I was inside of the camper for a little while, just getting things ready to go to sleep inside of this kind of tent thing. It's right next to me right now. I'm gonna set that up in a little bit. Before I do, though, I'm gonna do a little bit more shifting, and see, as you can see, I had to acquire some kindling and stuff to get this thing going again. So what I did was I just grabbed some paper towels, put on this piece of wood that I found, and some branches and stuff, and yeah, so I'm gonna get to work on some more shifting with the sequel, and tomorrow probably do some more wave shifting, maybe on a different part of the beach, maybe on a different beach, I don't know, let's see, and maybe see about something shifting. I'd find a good angle with a American flag somewhere around here or something. And yeah. So it'd be like the Point Mugu series of videos. Yeah, I never know, I might end up doing like some more numerology reading videos out here too. Just have to get some data off my computer and start to get the numbers and do the reading by hand out here and everything together with that. And good to go. I don't know if I'll have all the resources for it, but maybe I'll at least start work on it out here. I don't know. Whatever happens, I plan on doing dopamine and melatonin. Suppose I don't have to get too much dark side data for dopamine. I mean, is it your pleasure and your pain, basically, and stuff? I think it does some other things too. I think it does some other things too. That was funny. Thinking about brain chemicals. That's kind of redundant, isn't it? It's like they have personalities that I'm figuring out. Maybe I should do a reading on Stephen Hawking, huh? I'll look into the data for that one. Might turn out interesting. Might even get some kind of thing out there that sees how he's an atheist. Well, if he is fully an atheist, we're not sure. He's always kind of going back and forth with it, isn't he? Smoke's getting in my eyes, getting a little watery and stuff. Yeah, so I got this little camera stand thing that I always usually have on my camera, and it keeps things nice and steady. Maybe I should have had it for my DMT video. Pretty sure everything in the video might have been clear enough, but it could have been better. It's kind of shaky without it. Yeah, obviously I didn't have my camera stand attached when I made that. I always hold my camera by the camera stand now. It makes things nice and steady. A lot better. Yeah, so I guess 20 minutes so equates to like more than a gigabyte in AVI format. It's gonna be a while to upload that one. I don't even know if I'll be able to upload anything while I'm down here at all, really. I might end up having to wait till I get back to Nevada. I don't know, maybe if I can get to, if I can get a good signal, get a good internet out at my grandma's place or my Uncle Rob's place or something, that'd be good. Bet you atheists are wondering how this works. Am I somehow predicting how the fire's gonna move? But if I did that, then that would still be some kind of an ability now, wouldn't it? Because then I'd be like that kind of psychic. But how can I predict things like that, you know? I'd have to be so in tune with everything. The wind and fire and everything in order to synchronize, but see, I don't think it's working like that, because I'm not really using that much of my brain or whatever. I mean, either way, I'm still using some more than 10% of my brain, I'm sure. guess if everything's made out of atoms that have electrons, that when you perceive them, they become electromagnetic, that would mean that electromagnetic fields are perceived electrons and or observed electrons, whatever you want to call it, and all atoms have electromagnetic fields, and I got one. The wind's made out of atoms because it's gases, and so it has electromagnetic field to it. The fire is involving ignited gases and something electromagnetic to that too, so hey, it's all electromagnetic fields interacting with other things that have electromagnetic fields. That's how it works, huh? Well, yeah, of course, then you're gonna go and say, well, they're not thinking, though. You're just directing them around, and there's something mechanical to it. Well, whatever. Gotta step out of any kind of thing that seems like it's not thinking. So if it seems like it's not thinking, then it's not thinking. So if I'm like sleeping, or if I'm not moving or responding to any kind of outer stimulus or something, I'm just sitting there. So I'm not thinking because you can't prove if I'm thinking or not unless you hook me up to some kind of like brainwave monitor or something. How can we tell if plants are thinking? We know that they're living organisms. So, if they're living, then they're probably doing some kind of thinking, aren't they? Do you suppose that they would be? One could argue maybe they're not thinking. Maybe they're living, but they're not thinking, or something. Living, but not thinking. That might be possible, huh? How do you think about not thinking? All you'd be doing is using thinking to describe, like, not thinking or something. Boggles the mind, doesn't it, huh? Think about that. Thinking about not thinking. It's like Zen or something. Big mind. So we breathe air, huh? And what's that? We breathe air. And that's an important thing that our bodies need, our living bodies need, in order to keep living. How do we know if air isn't alive? I mean, what does air have in it? Hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, and some other stuff, maybe helium and stuff. But it has those things in it. It has some stuff that brain chemicals are composed of, right? And it's got electrons for sure. So how do we know if air doesn't think or live? How do we really know that? I mean, it moves around, it can respond to stimulus. We breathe it. We breathe when we think. We think when we breathe. How do we know, huh? I mean, if you just stop and just only pay attention to your breathing, right? What happens? Huh? Do you think there might be a shift in your thinking? But what would cause that? Why? I mean, the air, it's responding to stimulus right now. There's a mechanical way it works, kind of, but it's still doing it. There's a mechanical way that we respond to stimulus too, though, and there's thinking involved with it. It's about time science do some more pattern recognition and quit with this politics that's been going on ever since Catholic Church was persecuting them. I mean, that's all it's been about, really. I mean, originally, the forefathers of science were Hermeticists. They were trying to find the mind of God. And one of the things you got to do in order to do that is to find out what God is. And then at some point, science decided to cut off from Hermeticism. Probably because of the politics of the Catholic Church. They decided to totally oppose them. They're like, well, we can't find enough evidence that there's God, so we're just gonna shut down our minds from it. It's all just a doctrine, and we're just gonna cover up any kind of experience, any kind of spiritual experience, and if anyone has it, we'll make sure that they disconnect it or something from it being spiritual, and it just becomes some kind of crazy thing in the mind. Oh, 20 minutes again, huh? Yeah, so, time to rethink things and re-evaluate the data. Quit this denial trip. I don't know what y'all afraid of, you know. Shit's fun. This is an experience and it's fun, okay? Maybe I'll make a third video.